What's up, guys? So today I want to talk to you about how you can shift into this 2.0 version of yourself, this higher vision that you have of yourself, how you can really make that shift and grow into that person in as little time as possible. 2 years and 3 months ago, I first moved abroad, and I did this for a few different reasons. I decided I had to get out of the environment that I was in to really grow. I decided that I wanted to make this online coaching thing work, and I decided to go all in and bet on myself because that is what my first mentor at that time taught me. And when I first went there, I essentially dropped out of university and I didn't have any income. I lived off of my student loan for months on end trying to figure that out. And then when I first went to Georgia, the country, by the way, not the state, I wanted to coach entrepreneurs, yet I hadn't even really met entrepreneurs outside of a few personal trainers. That's pretty much it. I hadn't even met anyone who was making serious amounts of money. I knew a few people older than me who were doing things in the corporate world, like they were executives earning, 100 grand a year, 150 grand a year, something like that, but nothing outrageous. Then I went to Georgia, and the first entrepreneur that I really met and got to talk to was someone who had 100 employees working for him, and just, obviously making a lot of money, flying planes as a hobby, things of this nature. And I remember that when I went there, I could barely even hold a conversation with this person because of how nervous I was. I wasn't even planning to pitch him on anything. Obviously, I was not in the position to be doing that. But just the mere presence made me hugely uncomfortable. Now, 2 years and 3 months later, together with my partner, we've helped over 75 people, including multiple guys, doing $1 million a month. Even 2 months ago, I was just chilling with a guy doing millions a month, and we are just instantly connecting, being great friends. Whereas, 2 years ago, that would have seemed outrageous to me. I've only heard of people who did that through the internet, and they were like my idols at that time. And so there's a lot of different things that have helped me during this shift to where, now I'm in a much better position. But I think the greatest catalyst for helping me shift and grow so much in a short period of time has to have been the switch in environment. You see, when you are living with your parents, or you're still in your hometown, or even where you went to college, wherever, even in a place where you started to build bad habits, it is so extremely difficult to let go of those bad habits in the same environment. Whereas it is extremely easy to make these changes if you are just going to a completely new environment and just doing things properly right off the jump. So you don't necessarily have to go from a first world kind of live with your parents situation to a second world country that is way less developed, where most people do not speak proper English, where you just get thrown into the deep. But start making these changes if you feel stuck in a certain groove, because if you can just switch to a new place, it becomes so much faster. And that can be maybe a new country, but it can also just be a different city. Maybe it can just be going to a new apartment, going to a different gym, surrounding yourself with new people, investing into a network, finding like-minded people, talking to like-minded people, maybe unfollowing all of the bullshit that you have been seeing and filling up your social media feeds with, and now you just start listening only to the people who are in the position that you want to be in, and you start to take action on their advice. That is going to do wonders for you. Another thing, to make this change, you don't have to be completely clear on where you want to be going. It doesn't have to be crystal clear. It can be. For me it is. And back in the when I got started, it was different than what it is now, but there are still a lot of commonalities, and I had an idea. When you have a greater vision of what you're working towards, it drives you immensely. It is so difficult to be motivated if you have nothing to be pushing towards, right? If you don't have a clear idea of every single day I go through all of these difficult things for nothing, is extremely difficult. And then a lot of people, their vision just is not motivating them whatsoever. So if you are doing things where, your vision is living in a slightly bigger apartment, if your vision is getting in slightly better shape, if your vision is, I don't know, whatever it might be, then it becomes extremely difficult to be motivated, right? Because there is no huge thing that you're working towards that is driving you to be better. So there needs to be some type of incentive. This is why there are so many books on the magic of thinking big, the power of thinking big, like think big. This is what all these hugely successful entrepreneurs do. And there is a quote which is by Stephen A. Schwartzman, who is one of the most powerful people alive right now. And he even says that big goals and small goals are both equally hard to achieve. So you might as well make them big. What you have to think about is there are billions of people who are all thinking small. Then there are a few people who do think big, but then their actions are not aligned with that big vision. So if you can be the version or the person that has a big vision, and then also upon that takes the actions required, you are part of a very select few of a small group of people. And so get clear on that vision. Get clear on what life would look like in 10 years, what life would look like in 1 year, or how I prefer to do it is, instead of saying 1 year, you say soon, because the present is all there is, right? So we don't say, I want to be this thing later. I say, I am this thing now. I am now a multimillionaire. I am now a billionaire. Time maybe hasn't caught up yet to that point, but time is kind of an illusion anyways. Everything that we control is the present. And so if we can start to affirm the state that we want to be in now, then we can drag our time horizon into the present. Because if we think, we will get to this thing someday, then we're always pushing it away from us. Right? Because we're literally telling ourselves this thing is something far out. So clearly it's not part of us yet. And it needs to become a part of us for us to actually grow into that person. Then outside of the vision, it's also important to get clear on, okay, who is the person that is capable of achieving that thing, of achieving this life that I envision? Because the strategy does not really matter. So many strategies work, but most people do not work. It's not how you achieve it, it's who you become to achieve it. And so it's very, very important to get clear on, okay, what are the habits of the person that is in this position, or this version of me that is in that position, right? Because you don't want to think someone else, you want to think the me in this position. What is this person's habits? How does this person think of themselves? How does this person show up? What are their values? Right? It's important to be extremely clear on this. And then lastly, just start to take action, uncomfortably large amounts of action. Do the things that are uncomfortable. Do the things that are difficult. Do the things that your heart kind of, you feel this pain inside you when you start to do it. And oftentimes we know what we need to be changing. We always know the first step. So just start to take that first step today and master that first. And then take another one and another one. And if you compound these things upon one another, then the amount of growth that you are going to see over time is incredible. And I can say that because I've experienced it on the level that I'm at thus far. That's everything I wanted to mention on this topic. If you want to make this 2.0 shift as fast as possible, join our community. It's literally $7 a month, and we have put everything that we have learned around making this transition, around achieving your goals as fast as humanly possible. Inside of that, we've gotten incredible feedback on that so far. We have put, over 6 figures invested of knowledge in there. We've put over thousands of hours of knowledge, of researching, of working one-on-one with clients, of helping over 75 entrepreneurs. And so this is the literal blueprint. It is incredible what we have built. Promise. So check that out if you want help with this transition. Outside of that, I wish you a very good day. Hope this is helpful, and I'll see you next video.